Hello, 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 and welcome to another stream. This is JW Talks with JW Thoughts. I'm already getting echoes in my ears, so that's terrible news. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Joelle, hi from Australia. Hello, hello. Sig, what's going on? Novum, what's going on? Rowan, Stevie, Letty, we got governing body members, Stevie, Letty, and Jeffy Windy here. My goodness, illegal immigrant, hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing on this fine Saturday evening? I have a couple of esteemed panel guests today, and I do have one surprise guest that you guys didn't know about. Always something up my sleeve. Sean, hello, pitter-pattering with Shanika. I think I got that right. Maybe I did it wrong again. Tara, Tim, Matt, Alpha, Deborah, Agreeable Pixie, hello everyone. How are you? How's everyone doing? This is a little bit later than I normally would do it, so hopefully you guys like it. I'm chilling. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Faded from San Diego. Hello. Deborah Sellers. Hello. How's it going? Oh, I got it right. See, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. All right. Enough hellos. If you come in later than this, you don't get a hello. So let that be a lesson. Get here early. No, see, reasonable to conclude I'm not answering your question. You weren't here early enough. No, I'm doing great. 18 Muses, how's it going? Once a witness, Vernon. Hello. How's it going? Okay, let me figure out how I can. I don't have any transitions because I didn't have time to set it up. So no cool transitions for letting in my other guests. But let me turn their mics on first. Boom. And this one, which is here. Boom.
He just shot me.
They're already saying something. Hello, my fine guests. You are now live on this stream, and everyone can see your faces and hopefully hear your voices. Everyone's going to confirm this, though. Can everyone hear everyone, and how's the volume? This is the regular
What's
volume
up?
check. So this is where everyone tells me that I'm too quiet, someone's too quiet.
Let me see.
I think you are to me.
What about me? Hear me?
I'm
Hello,
chillin'
hello.
says, we've got Awaken Truth. That's goddamn right we do. And XJWMJ. That's right. Okay,
Yes,
I'm going to
sir.
give Awaken Truth the floor first. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us about the 3-minute version of your story of how you ended up here. Yeah, that'd be helpful. We
They're
can't hear
saying they can't
someone.
hear us.
See, this is why we do this. You can't hear them? They're coming. No sound. Just no sound at all. Can't hear them. It looks like on my end that it is coming through, which is crazy. Nope, nothing. Okay, see, this is where we start. Everything goes terribly wrong.
You remember what? You remember what it was you did with my mic?
I didn't do anything. It just fixed itself.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys hear MJ? I can hear the guy in the red hat, just not the couple. Novum, good comms. That's the kind of energy we're looking for around here. Okay, so MJ is good. They are not.
Okay, cool. They hear me and you while they.
I mean, on my mixer, it's showing like there is audio.
Oh, I mean, when I came through earlier, I just switched mics and went right back. Maybe they can try doing that.
Can you just cycle your microphone? Just switch it to a different source or something? Like the old turn it on, turn it off trick. Every tech question that's ever been asked has always been, did you try turning it on and turning it off and turning it back on?
Just like zoom all over again.
Yeah, I don't like. It's odd because I don't know what to do on. Oh, wait, hold on. I might have. I think I had an accident.
Uh-oh.
Okay, can you guys say something? Because it might have actually been my fault all along, like always. Jesus, I was really hoping it was someone else this time. Can you guys hear them now? If you can, I'm an idiot.
Anything.
Say something.
What's up,
Can you
y'all?
guys
Can you
just
Now
keep
hear
can
me?
they
talking?
hear
Say
us?
something.
Can you?
They can
All
hear
right,
you.
we're good.
Oh, wow.
So-
Yep. No, I'm an idiot.
Are we coming in?
They can hear us.
Yes, they can
You're
hear
not an
everyone
idiot,
now.
Wally.
I had it set to monitor because I was like, oh, make sure you click the box so I can hear you guys. But then there's like different ones that I can check. They said your guys are a little low. I have you all the way turned up on my end, so if you can do that. While you guys are doing your intro, I actually have a fire alarm that is beeping and it's getting really annoying. So I'm going to go and figure out why that's doing that, and you guys are going to carry the conversation. So this is a Wally stream where I invite people on and then I just walk away. Usually it's to pee, but this time I have a valid reason. But yeah, that's going to drive me absolutely crazy. So anyway, you guys take it away. Go.
All right, start from the beginning then.
Yeah, y'all. I
I
hope
just
you
probably
guys.
want to hear it.
No, I hope you
All
guys can hear us, but we're gonna actually introduce ourselves because we realized that we never say our names. MJ made us realize that. I'm Lexi.
I'm Jevin.
And go ahead, babe. Tell them our story real quick.
All right,
3 minute
3
version.
minutes. So in a nutshell, kind of grew up a Jehovah's Witness because my mom was disfellowship, but we still kind of went. And once I got older, I got baptized and fell for all that bull. And as most people in their early 20s got disfellowship, and somewhere while I was disfellowship, I like chilling on the weekends and not following all those rules, but I hurry up and came back for family. And it was never the same. The meetings didn't hit the same, and I started listening to other information, not necessarily this apostate stuff, but just like Black history and stuff like that. And it didn't align with what I was learning at the hall. And so at that time, we started dating, and we went to a few meetings, but we were exhausted without admitting it.
Yes.
And throughout that time,
This was in 2020, guys, by the way.
yep. So we moved in together, and I started
Against the rules.
against the rules, but it was just tired of following all those rules.
Yeah.
And something wasn't right, and I finally built the courage to watch the apostate videos they talk about and woke up, and it was like that feeling of, damn it, I knew it. Like I knew something was up, and it was also that relief, like, dang, no, I ain't gotta follow these rules.
Yeah.
But then it was like, I gotta break the news to you, and I don't know how. And we live together, and
Yep.
yes.
He ended up presenting me a scripture about the 144,000, asked me if it was symbolic or literal. And I said that it was literal because that's what we're taught. And he just kind of showed the rest of the scripture, like all of this is symbolic, but we take this as literal. And that was the beginning of us waking up, basically.
You know, so we woke up in 2020, it was completely done.
Yep.
But we didn't make videos or think nothing about it until years later when we
Yeah.
moved to Atlanta. So on accident, we did a couple random videos on random topics, and we're like, let's do a video on that time we was Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yep. And now
And-
this is kind of
Yeah, and people liked it, and
that's a quick little 3 minute version.
yeah.
Well, thank you. That was
Awesome,
exciting
awesome.
stuff. What was it like? You said something about like African history. Was there anything like specific there that?
That video.
It was all right. Starting off was like the Book of Bible stories and all the watchtowers were Africans, but nobody was dark. And I was just,
Oh,
when it
yeah.
came to my attention, I was just like, and then you know you make excuses when you see stuff that don't make sense. You like, all right, maybe I'm tripping, but it's like even the dramas where they had the fake beards on, and it's like, are y'all serious? Like it started to be like, all right, bro, this is right in your face, man. Stop lying to yourself.
But then you watched the video.
Yeah, and then I watched the video and it showed all the old
Tell
watchtowers
them the one.
from Brother Russell.
No, the
Okay.
video by Regular Pioneer.
Oh, a regular pioneer, that's what it was. But
Yeah.
it was showing all the old articles. So I'm like, this gotta be fake, that fake apostate stuff. So I tried to fact check it to disprove it. And that was like,
Yeah.
this is they stuff. And from that point, and a brother told me, well, you know, we can't show them no black characters because then you know, you can't bring that to nobody's house. And I'm like, I can go tell somebody like, yeah, your mom's not in heaven.
Right.
I can say that, but this is where I crossed the line. So by then it's like, man, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a really fascinating and weird thing that I don't think anyone's ever talked about, and I made a video about it, but I never released it. And maybe I'll do it again. But I think the video title was "Watchtowers Low Key Kinda Racist." I went
We
back
made that
and
video
looked.
before.
I went back and looked at all of their old watchtowers
Yeah.
and how they
Bruh.
portray black families specifically.
Yes.
And there was this overarching theme that was glaringly obvious when I looked at it in totality. And I realized, like, wait, so every single time they show a white person doing something bad, it's always the same thing. They're involved in stealing because they're a businessman with a gold watch. Anytime they show, or domestic abuse, there's also that. Anytime they show like a black family doing something wrong, it's always crime. Always doing. And I was like, wait, this can't be consistent. And I went back for years and all through the 90s and the 2000s and the 80s, and it was all this. I'm like, Watchtower's low key kind of racist with how they portrayed
Right in your
this.
face.
Yeah, I never released it because I thought maybe I was smoking the crack pipe and just
You should
had
drop
spent
that
too
one.
much time. But yeah, maybe I'll actually have to like, maybe I'll actually redo it or something because I know I still have all the material and everything. But
Drop
yeah,
it.
it's really funny to actually see it. And then you just like look at Sam Hurd, this doddering old fool, the last remaining, you know, token black guy. You're like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Literally.
And then you look at it from that point, he didn't get there until like the 90s. So all this time there was nobody from Asia, Africa, South
India.
America, like India. Like God didn't select nobody else except for
Over
this group.
100 years, bro.
Like, come on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but even further back, whenever they talk about how there was always, oh man, I'm trying to think of like not saying it on a watchtower, like, but there's always these glimpses of light throughout history, even during like the Dark Ages, and how there's William Tyndale and all of these different people that were like translating the Bible. It was always like some white dude. Like their entire
Exactly.
history
Right.
is always so. Yeah, I don't know if they're like overtly racist, but it kind of are. I feel like it's like into their DNA. I don't know.
They probably are. They probably have Sam Hurd on there just to avoid those questions. So
we got a
people
black
to
friend.
question them. Like,
They have their
just keep you for
token
now.
black guy.
Yeah.
Whenever they're like writing a script for a black character for one of their dramas, they're like, "So is this how it works in the hood?" He's just like smoking a joint in the corner.
With his hat to the side.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, that's exactly how it goes here. Oh goodness. Okay. Anyway, that was just my random sidebar. MJ, would you like to inform the fine people of YouTube how you have come to be at this moment in time?
Oh man, yeah. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm XTWMJ. I'm also a YouTuber. My real name is Lewis. MJ is like an abbreviation of my last name. It all started with the Revelation. Revelation chapter. You know what? Who cares? The point is, it had to do with the whole resurrection thing about how the Bible talks about there's a resurrection before and after the 1,000 years. And we've been taught that there's going to be resurrection during the 1,000 year cleanup. So I had to question that. I'm like, how is that even possible if there's only supposed to be two types of resurrection? And then it even mentions that the second resurrection won't happen until after the 1,000 years. I had questioned that. I spoke to my elders about it, and that kind of rose some red flags to them. So I decided to move congregations, become a PMO, ended up fading. I spoke to my best friend about those concerns as well. I even spoke about how I didn't agree with this fellowshipping because it wasn't a loving arrangement. And he basically chalked it up to me being spiritually weak, obviously. Told me to go back to the Kingdom Hall, like if I never was going to begin with. But anyway, I faded still. And then eventually I found out that long story short, I was talking to my best friend eventually again, sending him text messages of stuff that was on my mind because he had asked me, uh, pretending to be an apostate, basically saying, "Hey, everything you're saying makes sense. So send me all your information," which is already a red flag, right? So I sent him all the websites I visited, like JW Facts, avoidjw.org, sent him my notes, and it turns out he sent a whole PDF document of our text messages to like a bunch of people we know. That outed me. A bunch of people started calling me an apostate. They stopped coming to my baby shower, stopped coming to, or stopped inviting me to gatherings and stuff. And then, yeah, I got to my father-in-law, whom I was living with at the time to save for a
MJ,
house.
you are
He
echoing
kicked me
actually
out.
now.
What's up?
You are echoing now, actually. Sorry
Oh, okay, my bad.
to
How
interrupt
about
you. It's
now?
not
How's this?
terrible or anything. You don't even have to
Okay,
interrupt
cool.
your story, but you're fine. Just so you
No,
know.
that's fine. I mean, that's the end of it. I mean, I was living with my father-in-law at the time, and because we were trying to save up to find a house or to buy a house, kicked me out of the house because he found out about all these rumors. So I lived in my car for a while, and that's how I started YouTube. Just in
Wow.
my car, and now I'm still doing YouTube, and I'm on Wally's channel today. So yeah,
Okay.
That's
Pretty
dope.
dope. That's
yeah,
why
it's a
I always
long.
tell people they just need to start. Like, don't even think about it. If you want to start telling your story, just start.
Yep.
Yeah, anywhere it could be. Bro, I met so many homeless people, by the way.
Right.
But it was cool, man. You know, yeah. Thank you. What's that? Cygnus TSP. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's a long story, but that's kind of like the 3 minute version of it. But yeah.
Kazine, welcome to Wally World. Thank you, thank you. I don't think you guys. Do you guys hear the audio on those alerts? Because I was. Can you guys hear it?
Uh-uh.
I don't know. Huh. I have to
Am I
figure out how to
echoey
fix
still?
that. No, it's not. It's really not too
All right
bad.
to me.
It's really not too bad, honestly. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. Good night, Jemmy. Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, so where have you guys landed in the spiritual landscape? You were grown
Ooh.
up in a fundamentalist Christian teaching. Had the Bible shoved up your colon, and now you are free to think for yourself. What was that journey like for y'all?
You want me to start? Then you go.
Yeah.
Then MJ. Okay.
Yeah, we got to hear Alexi. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, at the beginning, I definitely thought that the truth was still the truth. And I thought the governing body just had bits and pieces of it wrong, I guess. And then it moved just to like believing in Jehovah kind of thing. And then it's like deeper and deeper research started happening. And I read this book that was kind of pivotal for me. And it was called The Power of Now by Elkert Tolle. And within that book, it had little spiritual seeds of comparison to like Christianity and some of the Bible teachings, but bringing it more towards like a spiritual way of thinking it. Like, okay, God is everywhere. That's because everything is God kind of a thing. And I ended up really kind of digging that way of thinking about God, because I think whenever we grew up, we believed like, okay, God is good all the time. God is good. God is he's all knowing, he's all powerful, he's all of these things, but it just was not making sense to me how we could be in this type of a world, but God is all good. And I'm not even a parent yet, but I'm like, if I was a parent, I wouldn't be treating my kids like this and making them suffer for mistakes that they never made,
Mm-hmm.
And so that got me into a different path of thinking about God, to where now I think of it more like, I say this all the time, but I'm an omnist. It means that I believe that there's truth in every religion, but I don't think that any single religion is the truth. And to me, God is kind of just everything in one. It could be the good, it could be the bad. It's the balance of the bad and good spectrum, and finding harmony within both of these things, which then it helps me to make the Bible make sense, because I'm like, okay, well, that's why maybe some of these bad things happen, because it's like balancing out the scales kind of a thing for me.
I think that's like the hardest like part about leaving a group like Watchtower, is it's so black and white, and there's no room for any type of gray area, that you come out of it like either the Jehovah's Witnesses are true or I'm going to be an atheist. And I feel like that tends to kind of be like where people land. So I'm kind of like keen on having people that have landed on a different place than that. Because like me, I'm like, God, the Bible is all a bunch of crap. I'm going to go and preach from the towers and go on r/atheist and be one of those guys. You know the type. Well, are your beliefs really true? Where's the proof of that? And you're just like harassing people for no quantifiable reason. Not a time in my life I was proud of. And although I still don't, have any particular faith in like any beings or anything, I understand where people come from when they have more religious perspectives. But Jevin, what was your journey kind of like?
Man, I think mine started with, for one, the afterlife never sat right with me. How somebody can just not be nothing, and that's just it. Because I'm like, well, everything is energy and matter, and you can't destroy that. And they would just say, they're in Jehovah's memory. And even as a witness, I'm like, so he's gonna bring them back out of what? Like
big ass SD card.
Like out of for real, like man, it's out of dust. Like what is he gonna like Michael Jackson? Remember the time he like spun around and turned into sand type stuff? Like that's what I'm thinking. Like so. Anyway, so fast forward. I watched The Secret on Netflix, and it was about manifestation. So I'm like, what's that? So I'm watching it, and it was basically saying like you can create your own reality with your thoughts. And I instantly think about when you get this fellowship, how they spook you with how your life is going to be a disaster. Like, man, your car going to break down. You're going to get fired from your job. Somebody going to try to beat you up in the alley. Like this is, so when you get this fellowship, it's extra bad because you are planning it to go bad in your mind. And so even like that, I'm like, And then the times where it's like, I'm about to lose my job because I got to take off for the convention, but I'm going to get another one. You yourself saying I'm going to get another one is what got you the job. It's not because Jehovah is give you a pat on the back for losing your 401k and your job to go listen to a 8-hour work shift meeting at the basketball arena this weekend. Like, you know what I'm saying? So stuff like that just was like, man. So I don't believe in this stuff. And then I remember just watching different YouTubers like Young Pharaoh back then and just learning a lot of old history. And I start seeing the pattern with every religion is the same thing with a twist. We are the best. We got some special knowledge that everybody else ain't got. And that's why you need to get with us. But here's the trick. If you don't get with us, then there's consequences. Yeah. So you are spooked and convinced to join the group. And you realize everybody's saying the same thing or talking to something with a different name. And it's like, well, it's no difference from the conscious and the subconscious. And that's what a lot of people are listening to. And even like as a witness, they always said not to rely on your own understanding. That's backwards, telling you not to rely on your gut feeling, your instinct. So you go try to look for other things outside of yourself. External instead of within. So I started to go, you know what? I don't need to belong to no particular group. Yeah. So I live like I don't believe in the God of the Bible, but I'm comfortable with knowing everybody is seeking for answers because the answers ain't there. Yeah. And that's the whole journey of this life. You go your whole life trying to understand where all this stuff came from. And somewhere in between, people came up with a scam like, bro, I got the answer for you for $20 a month. And people fall for it, like, and just everybody's falling for somebody selling you they answer that you got to go to them to get, that you can't come up with on your own. So I just look at life like, I look at everything, but I don't believe in no particular religion or nothing like that.
Really, this is all just a whole bunch of theories. Like all of us are coming up with our own theories of what's happening in this life or where we came from, all of these different things. And it's crazy because we looked it up before and there's 45,000 denominations of Christianity. Just
That's
Christianity.
Off of one book.
And then religions as a whole is 4,000.
For real. Yeah. And it's like, why, if one book came from God, why can't we just open it like green eggs and ham and be like, okay,
this is what it's
he liked green eggs and ham, and we all come to that conclusion. But with this book, why would a God make it complicated for you not to get it and then punish you not for getting it?
Yeah,
exactly.
That really like pissed me off, like that whole concept, because like I'm like, hey, I'm gonna invite you guys on the stream. I can copy and paste a link, and boom, there. And I just think, how easy is it for us to communicate with other bits of carbon on this planet? And here you're like this timeless being that can see past and future and everything, and you can't write an email? Like, Dog, come on.
Man,
And my eternal future, weighs
That's
in the
true,
balance
Jehovah.
of which white dude I'm gonna listen to.
that's it.
Like, it's kind of a scary prospect, so it's kind of hard to like get behind that.
Right.
Especially when you
They
got
can
Stephen Lett
announce
talking
it.
over here. Freaking the Jim Carrey version of Stephen Lett out here.
Yeah, that's out of control.
Yeah,
You
that's
well, I
crazy.
mean that's the name of a book you can write though, Jevin. Selling Truth. Boom.
That's
One's-
good.
Genius.
That's pretty good. Anyway,
Yeah, I like that.
MJ, your
Yeah.
turn. Your turn.
Oh
The
snap!
floor
It's
is
my turn
yours.
now. So I've been all over the place, man.
You have.
I have. Like, I'm agnostic right now, but I've been everything. Uh, like when I left the organization, obviously I had to search for God or for the truth of God. Um, I'm sorry for a true religion. Because obviously I wasn't in the truth, so I had to search. I mean, that's what we all do, right? Try to find the truth. But ironically, the Jehovah's Witnesses are what kind of took me out of that like thought process that there's a God. Because it's been so ingrained that Jehovah is good, Jehovah's good, Jehovah's loving, Jehovah's merciful, but there's just so much crap going on, and it doesn't make sense for God to be that good for us to go through so much crap.
Right.
But eventually I like ended up becoming a theist anyway, until I watched this channel called JW Thoughts, and he was talking about how we should acknowledge our successes, our achievements, and not just put it on God.
Yeah.
And just be like, yeah, I got to school, I got this job because God gave it to me, or because of God this, God that. And I'm just like, that does make sense. Like, we should at some point acknowledge who we are as a person, what we've gone through.
Yeah.
And that made so much sense to me. The guy's name is Wally, if you didn't know, and he's a pretty bright guy. But that brought me to atheism. But then I had to say, well, if I'm an atheist, then I don't believe there's a resurrection, and I believe there's nothing that comes after this. And then I couldn't settle with that, so I started reading the Bible more and digging more into that, but that just made things a lot worse. I looked into Marcionism. If you guys know who Marcion was, the whole Old Testament God was way different than the New Testament God. Way more egotistical, jealous. It made a lot more sense when the Bible says that Jehovah's a jealous God. That made a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
um, and it's like all the stories, like everything that he did, the 42 children he killed with two bears for no reason because two kids made fun of a man's scalp. Um, or how Korah's family was swallowed up by the ground. There was 250 people that died because of just a few people, and then 14,000 more that he sent a plague to kill. Like, why are you killing, bro? Aren't you loving? And it's just some more stories. And then it didn't make sense to what Jesus was saying, how Jesus, his father, is a loving God, that he's greater than me, and stuff like that. So I ended up becoming a polytheist because I ended up finding out how Psalms 82 talks about multiple gods. So I guess I was a theist for a while, but now I'm agnostic because I don't know for sure what is true and what's not, because we still live in a hell. We're still going through crap. How can a loving God just throw us in here like whatever? Because if you really think about it, like everybody in the Bible times had physical proof of God. They even had Jesus walking, and they had to believe, because believing, seeing is believing, right?
Right.
And now 2,000 years later, we have no proof of God. There's just, and we're supposed to believe. We're supposed to have a faith, but yet we're punished if we don't. But then everyone back then had a reason to believe, and now we don't, and we're sent to hell if we don't believe. Like, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. It's not fair. So I just decided to be agnostic because I still want to have a faith, and I still want there to be something else after. Um, but what really pushed me to agnosticism was the fact that, or I, I guess I can say closer to atheism. I'm not really sure, but the whole fact of how a light year works in space,
Mhm.
how
Yeah.
all the galaxies that you can see, all the planets that you can see, the light that comes from it is all distance, and a lot of the chronology, like the time, doesn't add up with Bible chronology.
Mhm.
So that's what really opened my eyes, and I was just like, what the hell do I believe now? Like
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? Maybe the Bible was just meant to control people. And it's like what you were saying, Jevin, like there's like like out of one book, there are 45,000 organization denominations.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just meant to control people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's my thought process. I mean, I wear a cross, but I mean, I have tattoos too, right? Like I
Mhm.
have a Legend of Zelda tattoo. Does that mean I worship, Link? Like I just like it. And I wear
Yeah.
a cross because yeah, Jesus was a pretty dope dude.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Even if he was real or not, if he was real or not. But that's just my thought process right now. I want to believe in God. It's just hard for me. But
Mhm.
I also don't push it on my channel. I don't push you to be a theist. I don't push you to be an atheist. I'm very universal, very lenient. So that's just who I am. And I don't want to be hated neither. So
Mhm.
so that's
We'll
my
call that
thought process
segment
again.
Tears of the Kingdom Hall. Get it?
What's up?
I said we'll call that segment Tears of the Kingdom Hall. Tears of the Kingdom. The Zelda game.
Oh yes.
Tears of the Kingdom Hall.
I get you. I get
It
you.
was
You're
terrible joke, not my best. But all we
You're
know is
funny.
you're on your knees praying to Link or worshiping him. That's all I heard. But hey, whatever you do on your weekends, that's up to you. Jevin, I am like curious about what you think, because this is something I often think about, and
All right.
you kind of like explained it and how I've always thought about it. When you're a witness, you're always so hungry to find that moment where God is helping you. Oh, look, he's intervening in my life. Like you said, you lost your job, but then you got another one. You know, your car broke down, but then you found a great deal on one. And you're always like so concerned trying to find that meaning.
Mhm.
It's almost like you're manifesting it, right? And I'm not
Yeah.
like fully on board with like manifestation as like an actual physical thing that happens in the universe, but by God, does it actually happen like in life anecdotally, of just like really focusing and setting your sights to like accomplish something. And it pisses me off because you have this concept where people can grow from their self-actualization, and yet instead of learning from that wow, I can do stuff, I did that shit, that's cool, they are having that hijacked, that growth opportunity away, and
Yeah,
they're like,
right.
well, just that's just Jehovah, he was helping you out, you
Holy
should just pray to
Spirit.
him and make sure you give some money to Watchtower.
Right.
Yeah. It's like being extorted, because if you don't pay, Jehovah gonna be mad at you. So am I paying
Yeah.
protection?
Actual
that's
mob
literally what
boss
it is.
mentality.
Literally.
I
You're
think
the
that's why they
king.
don't want you to meditate, because then you get in tune with that intuitive part of yourself. And so if they stop you from meditating, like when you're meditating or doing yoga, things like that are like calming, you almost become one with yourself, and that like inner stillness happens. And that's something that's very powerful, even if you listen to other people and their kind of words and things. And that's why we believe manifestation works, because it's like an energy that's being put out, and it's also rewiring your brain. So instead of thinking a certain way all the time, you take the same paths in your brain over like 500 times every single day. So if you start to rewire that path, then you're going to have different outcomes.
Yeah, I looked at The Secret like, well, what I got to lose? Like, I left this cult, I don't know what to do. I might as well think positive to see what happened, like roll the dice. And even like we ended up with a YouTube channel just by that. Like, we're gonna make a channel. We don't know what we're about to do, but we're gonna figure out something that we're good at.
Yeah, and there's always action.
Yeah.
It's just the putting it out there, thinking about it. So I think there's part science in it, and then
Yeah, and it's like, think of all the people that would love to start a YouTube channel, but they're like, I only got 4 views, I quit. Because you don't believe in yourself. But when you're like, all right, that one wasn't it, but let me keep trying, because I'm about to figure this out. Like, it ain't God doing it, it's you putting in the work. Like, I'm gonna make this work, and it happens. God didn't do it, you did that.
Right. Yeah. Like My first channel was like I literally just uploaded it obviously in my car. I even I was even like laying down on the seat, right? So like
Mhm.
nobody could see me above like my window line. Like I was just talking to myself and just recording myself. Um and it was just, that fear. But I also thought obviously I was a theist, right? So I thought that Jehovah would be mad at me if I knew something and didn't say something.
Uh-huh.
Because I believe we should you know always tell the truth and live with the truth and not
Mhm.
lie and live a lie. So I that's what bothered me consciously, and I knew I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
No.
But the point
People
is,
thought you were a sketchy dude in a Walmart parking lot, though. Sitting there in your
bro,
car, like, what is he doing?
that's
What
part
the
yeah, that's
hell?
part of the reason why. And bro, it was too much, man. I would sit in the parking lot behind Starbucks too, so I'm sure they must have known I was doing something. 'Cause I was there every day. That ended up being my spot eventually when I was
But
homeless. But I that yeah, I just figured I'd rather live a truth, not a lie. So that was what I thought I thought I was disrespecting Jehovah if I stayed, pretty much.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Like these guys are protecting pedophiles. They're lying about your son. Like he
Yeah.
ain't no damn angel. Like,
Right.
I might as well just leave, And I that's when I spoke to my family after obviously I got outed. I told them that, I'm like, who would you rather listen to God or listen to the governing body? And my mom literally disowned me. She literally said, "No, I'd rather listen to the governing body." I'm like, "What?" And I'm providing scriptures. I'm showing her the Bible, providing scriptures, and she's like, "No, that's a lie. That's a lie." And I'm literally quoting these scriptures, and she's like, "No, that's a lie. You're a liar. You're Satan's child." Like, no, don't talk to me about God. Don't come here to talk to me about God. I'm disowning you. I
Mhm.
don't love you anymore. Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, wow, like you're choosing, don't you want to respect God and know the truth? She's like, I already have the truth. Like that's what the governing body is for, to help me. I'm like, all right, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
Like
The
I'm your
governing
son
body
telling you
is
all
their
this
God,
stuff.
though. Like, at the end of the
Yep.
day,
That is, yeah, that is
it's
their
just a
God, pretty
replacement
much.
for it. Because they can't talk to
Yeah,
God unless it's through them.
right,
Yeah.
There you
exactly.
go.
That's
Reasonable
cognitive.
to
They're the
conclude.
mediator, remember?
Yes,
And
reasonable to
that's
conclude. Thank you for the $10. I very much appreciate that. And they have a question for us, fine panel of people, to answer. And the question is, does making YouTube videos exposing Jehovah's Witnesses cause any problems with your job or boss? That's my personal concern.
Mm.
Thoughts?
Is it boss or
sorry, I
Joe?
didn't. What was the question?
Okay, brother, lock it in. Does making YouTube videos exposing Jehovah's Witnesses cause any problems with your job or boss?
For me, it did because I'm a school bus driver. Um, I obviously, when you're a witness, the number one thing is to put your service hours up. So a lot of witnesses became school bus drivers because you got that split shift.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
I literally worked, I will still work with like, I'm no joke, bro, like 36 witnesses every single day.
Dang.
Um, and we
Sounds
have
fun.
a cap of 170 employees. So 32 of them are witnesses,
That's
and
crazy.
I see them every single day. I'm not disfellowshipped right now, but because of my YouTube channel, nobody talks to me.
Mm.
Um,
Big ol'
it's stupid
apostle.
because I have a beard. I've always had a beard, even when before they even announced that you can have beards. I had it. I even went to the convention with it, and bro, I was ridiculed. I was just talked smack to. I was pinched one time. This elder pinched me and pushed me around for having one. Till this day, he hasn't apologized because 3 months later they changed the rule that you can have one.
He
And
did you
I
say he
see
pinched
him.
you?
Yep, and I see
Like,
he literally pinched me, bro.
like, like
He
Goo Goo
literally pinched
Gaga? He
me
was
and
like
then
treating you
pushed
like a
me.
baby? I would have punched him in his
And I'm a
face.
grown man.
Yeah,
Bro,
but
like I
bitch.
got
Pinching
so through,
nobody?
bro. I saw red because like I was just, my blood boiled. Oh, they left. Did
It's
they
fine.
leave?
We'll
Was
get him
that
back
just
in.
me? All right.
Uh,
Um, yeah, like I was just really mad, but I work with a bunch of them now, and I see them every day, and they're all wearing beards. So it's like, bro, even the elder, he works with me too. So it's like, dude, like It's just very stupid. So it has affected, yeah, my job because they all know I do YouTube and they don't talk to me as if I'm disfellowshipped. But that's my story. Yeah, the pinchy pinched him. Yep.
Well, I
Yeah,
suppose
crazy.
that's
crazy.
that would affect it very specifically because you work with a lot of witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do get the occasional waves, like if I'm driving the bus down the road, but that's kind of like, you know, natural for everyone to do, like wave at the other driver. So
Yeah.
obviously, I don't think it's personal. It's
That's
just
pretty funny. Like
business.
a witness, like the other bus driver, they're a witness, and then they don't know it's you, so they wave. Like, how do they take their wave back? Like, no, I wasn't waving at you. No, no,
Yeah,
that's not real.
that
Do they
happened
actually
to
do
me.
that? I
That happened. I was at one of the schools picking up. I picked up my kids, and the bus in front of me wasn't leaving. So I guess they wanted to apologize that they're taking their sweet ass time. So I pulled around them, and this is a sister that I've known for there. She was actually my wife's best friend, and so I'm pulling around, and she's just she had her head out the window, smiling, waiting to like wave. I guess she thought I was someone else because she waved, she smiled. She literally just stopped. She pulled her hand back, put the serious face on, and she literally just went like this. And I just drove right past her, and I'm just like driving right by her still, and waiting for her to turn around. And I swear she was embarrassed or something. But I'm like, bro, like for real, you have to hold back a high, halfway through, give up on your high. Like,
Right.
how does that make sense? Like, that's just so
Ridiculous.
disrespectful. But
Dang.
they don't care.
So you don't
It,
you don't talk to any of them really?
I don't talk to him.
Well,
what happened?
I was asking, do you talk to them at all?
Do I talk to them?
Uh
All right. So I did one time.
Anytime it's like, all right, so like, okay.
huh.
So we have these meetings once in a while, like these safety meetings, and it's just a bunch of us come together and we sit in the auditorium. And the speaker was the speaker was talking about um coming together to work as a team, to be team players.
hmm
Cooperate with each other on the radio, have etiquette, all that stuff, right? And
Sounds
be
miserable.
there for each other, whatever. As they were making that statement, I'm laughing, and I'm laughing loud because I'm sitting next to the group. Because that's another thing. Witnesses come together, they stay together like a flock, and they're
Yeah.
just sitting in one table, all together. And I purposely sat next to them. Um, and I just got a tattoo too, so I'm sitting next to them with my earrings and everything, showing off because I'm a good boy. I'm a bad boy. So, so I'm laughing, and they're all looking at me. Every time they made a statement about showing love for your coworkers, showing respect for your coworkers, I'm laughing, and I'm looking at them as I laugh. Bro, I was the dude at school that got sent to the principal's office all the time because I was the class clown. I do the same thing at work. I don't give a shoot. So that I've
An
only
incredible
time I
comeback.
actually personally.
No
What's up?
one would even saw what you were trying to say.
Listen, I have bro. Half of that table were my best friends, so they know
Crazy.
I'm being cocky. I've when it comes to saying something personal, I didn't really say anything personal to anyone except when that whole beard thing happened. Um, I had one of the guys come through, walk past me in the hallway, and I just like, wow, you have a beard now. That's amazing. I just walked by, and that was all I said. Um, but I'm also a pretty I'm a I'm a I'm a PUSSY sometimes when it comes to like confronting people.
Mhm.
So that's why I laugh and I just joke. But yeah, that's
Okay.
just me.
I was
I
wondering.
mean, have you guys had any like people at work that you know are witnesses?
Oh,
You do now. This is
Oh, hell
before we
yeah.
get into it. I thought of this when he was saying like they don't talk to me, and I was just like, you know how people had stories of getting made fun of at school? Like we the ones that can make fun of them. So I was wondering like, do you pick on them? So yeah, you got it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be bullying them all the time, not gonna lie.
I'll be
Oh,
around
yeah, I
Wednesday
could definitely
around
see
worldly
doing
people.
like,
And
ooh, yeah.
embarrass them. I'd be like, hey, they got pool tables at that Kingdom Hall on such and such street. And they like, y'all want to come to the hall shoot some dice with me? I'm a Jehovah's Witness, y'all. Like, I'm just stuff like that to just make them, because they making me uncomfortable. I shouldn't feel bad for making them uncomfortable, right?
Bro, just
it's crazy.
bring a bottle of wine and some crackers on Memorial Day. And just walk right. Just start drinking it.
Like, y'all had these Jesus cookies?
Jesus juice.
Oh, my God.
Oh god.
But yeah, tell them about your
Oh, I have a new Jehovah's Witness girl at work. I had to precept her the one day, and she doesn't know that I know she's a Jehovah's Witness. Somebody else had told me about it, and I'm feeling awkward because I'm like, oh Lord, if you knew, if you only knew, because she like wants to like be my friend while we're there and stuff, and I'm just like. If you would only find out
That's hilarious.
that I am a full-blown apostate, make the YouTube videos, like all of that. So it is a little awkward, just kind of
being around her.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I haven't run into witnesses, I don't think.
But I don't have any other problems as far as like my employer goes, but they also probably don't watch this kind of content. So there's that.
Yeah. And we moved south too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, to answer the question, I forgot. By reasonable to conclude, you're probably fine. If you have a lot of people you work with that are Jehovah's Witnesses, then obviously that's going to impact your job on some level, no doubt.
Yeah.
But if your boss isn't a Jehovah's Witness, there is like a near 0% chance they're ever going to, stumble across a video that gets 10,000 views on YouTube in a really tiny niche community.
Very
My
small.
boss is an ex-witness, by the way.
Oh, funny.
Ex-witness.
So I was going through some trauma, seeing the brothers all the time. So what happens now is I keep my bus key and my sign-on tablet because I literally went up to my boss. I didn't know he was an ex-witness or not. He's not my boss, but he's the supervisor, like the guy you talk to. And I told him that, I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. There's a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses that work here. I don't want to be here. So can I just keep my key and my sign-on tablet? And he's like, for real? And he just walks around me and closes the door. I'm like, oh my God. Like, why are you an ex-witness? I'm like, here we go. This dude's a freaking witness. Like, I got to explain to him my reasoning. And I did. I ended up just telling him everything. And he's like, bro, I'm not a witness. I'm also an apostate. Like, are you kidding me? So, like, we became cool friends. Like, we text now and stuff. And he's like, go ahead, keep your key. They're jerks. Let them be jerks.
Yeah.
If you could come in if you want, but if you don't want to, keep your key. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, that was just trying to add on to what Wally's saying about my boss. My boss is I got lucky that way. And that doesn't really work out for everyone.
Jehovah's blessings right there.
Exactly.
God said, I got you, homie. No. He said, I got you, friend, because they've been taught that we're not God's children. We're Jehovah's friends. So he's like, I got you, friend.
That's true.
A friend to let you get beat up and stuff. Like, a friend in real life, like, hey, Thursday, MJ, these dudes, they coming, they going to walk up on you on the sidewalk and they going to jump you. And then you just watch. And then afterwards, like, let me know if you need something. Like, you're not my friend, dude.
It's kind of like the most useless friend ever, just like standing on the sidelines always.
Just watching.
And always hits you up when they need something. That's Jehovah for you. Like, did you get your service hours up? Then I ain't talking to you. Like,
For real, I'm mad at you.
You're not going to get a job. You didn't make it to your last student assignment. Cool. Alexa, you said something that I am very, very, very much into, and this is something that I encountered as a witness, and that was with meditation, because I found the power of breathing. It's an incredible concept. Whenever you take your shoes off, you stand in some grass, and you just actually like breathe without any stimulus, no music, no nothing, just actually being present and one with yourself. And you actually start like moving and thinking with your breath. And it really opens up your mind. But I immediately, as soon as I was a witness and starting to preach the good word of, meditation, but not in like read a watchtower and think about the word organization 500,000 times in a row. But actual meditation where you're like connecting yourself to, depends on who you're talking to, but you connect yourself to your higher self and you just have a conversation with yourself, whatever you want to call it, doesn't much matter. But did you discover any of that while you were a witness, and then have people immediately tell you, oh, you're not supposed to meditate because it opens up your mind too much and it could let demons in?
Yes, that's exactly what we would encounter. For me, it was me wanting to go and do yoga, and I didn't understand the reasoning on why we weren't allowed to do yoga until they told us, like, yeah, it opens up portals for the demons to get in. Same way as if you watch, TV and there's something happening, then the demons, everything the demons can get in. So we're like always trying to repel all things demon while we're like Jehovah's Witnesses. And it's so crazy because it even goes back to watching TV shows with magic in it. And yet you're teaching us about a guy who walks on water, raises people from the dead, and I can't watch Frozen? Are you kidding me? What are you talking about?
Wait,
they ain't letting it go.
Frozen? That's crazy.
Yeah. Frozen, all the Disney movies were like a problem. And I remember we went with a big group of witnesses to watch Moana. And because that's what you do whenever you're freaking a teenager, you go to the movies and watch cartoons as witness because that's what's safe, And so we went there to watch.
That just made me depressed for my 15 years ago self. I just got sad for me.
Literally. So yeah, and a whole bunch of people walked out of Moana, and me and some of the other witnesses were kind of pissed because we're like, seriously, but it's because it was very spiritual heavy, there was what is it, reincarnation? There was bits and pieces of reincarnation in there and things like that. But anyway, so yeah, I did encounter that. They told us that it would let the demons in. But really, you're connecting with your higher self, and there's so much power inside of that it breaks you away from the brainwashing, because you have a second to sit there and really think about your life, why things are the way that they are. And we're very much into alchemy and metaphysics and things like that, thinking about how things came to be, what are some of these sources, how people thought back in the day before all this organized religion. And yeah, they don't want you to connect with stuff like that.
Because then you don't need the middleman no more. It's well, I don't need to go through you.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could create your own heaven on earth, essentially.
Yeah.
Selling truth.
I'm pretty sure they think the same with drugs, psychedelics.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, he died.
Oh man!
So don't tell him we got an anti-psychedelics on here.
Yeah, I think did YouTube actually do this or okay? Hold on.
I hope YouTube didn't cut out for saying the
No. He's back. Hey, okay, you're back.
Okay.
You're good.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Road trips.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, Jehovah's mad that I'm talking about psychedelics.
Oh no, you're fine. While you're talking about psychedelics, I'm gonna go get another coffee. But
I don't hear you guys though. I hear you. I see Lexi nodding that she hears me, but I don't hear her for some reason. Let me see. Was it me that got cut off?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Only?
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second.
I just wanted to go get a coffee, and now everything's gone wrong.
Yeah, I don't hear you guys anymore.
That's
I might leave.
This is enough.
Oh, I hear you guys now.
Can you hear
That's
everyone
weird.
now?
Ooh.
Anyway,
that was a juicy time to cut out.
Keep talking.
Yeah, no, we were just getting hype. Hold on. I'm just gonna go get some coffee.
Put a thumbs up so that I can talk.
I'm getting a coffee.
Right.
You are going to talk.
All right, MJ got the floor.
So I've done grounding before, where I take my socks off and just stand in the middle of the woods and pretend to talk to somebody I think I know exists in the sky. And it worked out. It was pretty cool. It was pretty chill. But psychedelics is another good thing that they're against, and I think it's very powerful. I interviewed somebody on my channel once who's a medicine doctor, and they told me that the S word is good to do. I don't want to sit here and promote that, but I'm just saying that it's very beneficial. If it's on Earth, Jehovah freaking made it, right? So
Okay.
Like eating an
why
apple.
not give it a go? But yeah, I hope you guys heard me. I'm gonna see what happened and figure out why I can't hear anything.
That's
we
a fun
heard.
guy.
We can hear you.
Can you hear us?
It's so quiet. It's so weird. I feel like I'm talking to myself.
And Wally is.
Wally's away. He can't hear us. I
Well,
hope.
can they hear?
What happened?
Can they hear us in the
I'm
comments?
gonna switch to my headphones.
Look, someone said fun guy. I'm telling you, that fun guy. Okay.
Let's see. Can y'all hear us?
Tubesky with a dooski.
All right, we hear you. All right, they said they can hear you.
I don't hear you guys. Yeah, see, I hear you coming in. Like every once in a while, I hear you.
That's weird.
I don't know.
Oh, Wally's back. He can fix it, maybe. You guys can hear us, but MJ can't hear us talking.
I think everyone on stream can hear everyone. I just think MJ is struggling to hear us. So I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I think he's gonna do that.
Good idea.
All right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, now that guy's gone. Oh, he's back.
That guy, fun guy.
Hi, can you hear us again?
So we're back. All right.
What's going
we
on?
are the testing.
Maybe try and.
Thank you, Sebo. Ron Pomo.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a me issue. I'm gonna restart my PC and I'll
Okay, sounds good. And then there were two of us. Wait, hold on. Three of us. Well, I'm looking at two. Oh no.
There we go.
Oh, someone said they've done a couple trips. Man, we love a good tripper.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
So my only experience with psychedelics wasn't the best. It was in Amsterdam after drinking an entire bottle of gin with a French girl I met at a bar. Yeah, it wasn't.
Gin by itself was a bad trip.
Yeah, I didn't really set myself up for success, to be completely honest. But
what kind of gin was it?
Huh? Hendrix.
Okay, as long as it wasn't bumpy face gin, that'll have you on the curb crying.
Just getting all emotional and shit.
Curb, man.
Talking about your grandma.
Oh my
telling
gosh, that's like mixing spirits with like a, with like a high power intuitive fungi. We watched this was it called Fantastic Fungi on Netflix? Oh my gosh, y'all back home, y'all need to watch this. It's pretty cool just seeing how many different types of mushrooms there are and how restorative they are and how they just eat all the dead stuff and then come back and make it something better. It was just it was trippy watching it.
And how it helps the earth. Like if a tree over here is sick and it's a healthy tree here, mushrooms will grow in between and take nutrients from one and fix the other. Like that's just the earth. That's not even talking about when people eat them.
Yeah, that's why I think that happens whenever you eat them. Like a lot of people say if you go in with setting intention, for your trip or for what you want to happen during it, and just like how I was saying earlier about the rewiring of your brain, that's like a fast way to do it, I guess, to kind of rewire the routes in your brain if you set an intention beforehand. Yeah,
and then how they work. Everybody has like a subconscious or things that you push to the back of your mind that you don't want to deal with or face. And a lot of people, when you tell them that, they're like, "Oh, I'm scared of that." But psychedelics and mushrooms force that thing to be right here in your face. Like, look at it. And you would try to fight it, but you can't look away from whatever it is you need to think about or face. But the other part of it is you force yourself into a conclusion. And you realize like, all right, well, that's done. Yeah. And then you realize like my whole life I've been avoiding reality. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose.
I mean, that's really like interesting because like that's part of therapy, right? Is that little thing that's always whispering behind you, all of those little demons from trauma that you've accumulated over time that's just weighing you down. Yeah. You go to therapy to actually like, okay, open that door so you can have the full frontal nudity. Okay, we're going to deal with this thing now. And we're here. Yeah. So I like understand like the concept of it. And yeah, it's really interesting. Maybe we'll do psychedelics at some other time in my life. Maybe I won't. I don't really know. I guess we'll just see.
When you're ready.
Yeah.
We love.
Oh, okay. We have our fourth member back, I think. But now I'm reorganizing
you can hear us, MJ?
Everything. I have not added him into the
Okay, cool.
Hello. Back on this. Can you hear us now? Are you good to go?
I can hear you now. I hear you perfectly fine.
What is this? What is this voice? Is this what we're doing now?
That's just, I thought it would make you laugh. So I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can do it too and put my shoulders near my ears. Have some confidence. Say it with your chest.
I'm back, everyone.
You need to sit You need a trip setter, Wally. Okay. Wally, was the mushroom before or after leaving? It was after. I was going to run through any comments or anything. Well, anyway.
Is that what I have to change my name to? The guy in red hat?
The guy in the red hat? I'm just...
Everyone just keeps saying it.
It's like good to have like a signature thing, right? Like, hello and welcome back to the JW Thoughts channel. My name is Wally. You know, everyone has like their little signature thing. So you could just be the guy in the red
AJ
hat.
gotta wear all red hats from now on.
Right.
Yeah, it's different types. A circus hat, different types, just all hats red.
Every video is different hat. Yeah.
Looking
like a pimple out here.
I'm just gonna gradually progress and get bigger, like clothes, like be the pimp for XJW community.
I don't think you should use that terminology, though. I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I don't think you want to be known as the pimp.
Why can't I be a PIMP?
No.
No, you have to be a manager.
Yeah, exactly. It's YouTube.
Street
Come on,
manager.
Corporate suits run this platform. You have to be a corporate manager, a regional officer.
Oh my god. I won't be a PIMP. I guess I'll just be the POMO. I guess it's like, right? That's the physically out, mentally out. See, I made another Wally soft joke. Sorry.
I'm soft? What? Well, I think
No,
I should
I'm sorry.
be. I think
That's
it would be a
not what I
very
meant.
inappropriate time to be hard, if I'm completely honest with you. That'd be pretty awkward for everyone in this call.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining.
MJ?
All right.
We talked about
Joining
this.
everybody.
Oh my god. Anyway, I will put MJ's channel, I'll link it. So let's transition from the spirituality thing into like the mental health, because I know like for me that's a really big deal, and I think understanding how our little brains are wired and connected has been one of the most enlightening, I'm hearing hella echo, enlightening and challenging like things to work through. So I'm just curious, like, what were all of you guys's progress with like mental health, or what were some of the things? Was it therapy for you? Was it learning on your own? Was it through just like going on a trip? What was that like?
Oh, I think, especially coming back after being reinstated, I'll say beforehand, as a Jehovah's Witness, it's never enough, and that happens with a lot of the members. Even if they're doing everything by the books, nothing is ever good enough. Like, say you're a study,
Right.
All right, well, you need to come to the hall. So you finally come, like, all right, I showed up. And now you need to get baptized, or join the school. You join the school, then you need to go on service. Then you need to get baptized, and it's like, finally, I'm at the baptism. And it's like, nah. Now you need to be a servant, and it's like, dang, what's next? Now you have to be an elder.
Yeah.
Now you need to do, and it's like, so as a Jehovah's Witness, and then it's on top of your body is naturally going this way with things that you like, things that you find interesting, and the watchtower strips that away from you, and like, this is what you have to be, and anything that doesn't line up with this, you got to remove it. So you're stripping away yourself, and you living your whole life not really fulfilled because you can't be you.
Your
but then,
authentic self.
and then you feel guilty for wanting to, like, for one thing, when I got baptized, I stopped listening to music with cussing in it for like 3 months. But it was like, in that time, like J. Cole Born Sinner had just came out, and that was like 2013. Like, a lot of good music came out. It's like, why do I have to feel guilty for liking what I like? Or you might like to watch boxing or something. You can't watch boxing. You can't play you can't play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And you are just, anything that you love to do just makes you feel like a bad person.
Yeah.
And this is something that's taboo to talk about. Young men from 15 to 20 like girls, that, or whatever you into. You have hormones, and the women like what they like, and you are told you can't even hang with this person at the park alone. You can't talk. You can only talk about spiritual stuff, and it's like, that's not normal. So you feel guilty even as a young person for liking,
having a crush
attracted to somebody, like. And then you force, like, well, if you like them, you got to get married then.
Yeah.
Right away.
High school.
And they're doing that amount of pressure. Okay, lifelong decision about your life partner, and you're 17, 18 years old. Because, like, that's what it was for me. I know I'm like 15, 16, like, oh man, I got to get married by the time I'm 18, or else I'm just going to be old.
And get this fellowship. I need to.
It's going to be terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, I got married at 23, and that was considered late.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just that takes a toll. So realizing that when this is not the truth, and I found that out, the relief was I'm lost, but I'm not wrong for wanting to be. I get to be free. I get to. There's no more stipulations on what I have to be, and I don't have to keep impressing my family. Especially when I got reinstated, like it just, I didn't want to do it no more. Coming to the meetings, preparing for the meetings, staying after, having to talk to people. It was like a constant tug of war, and I was not in a good mental place with that because it wasn't what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to admit that I don't want to do this no more. And once you get over that hump, it's like, of course, you get new problems, but you can be yourself, and you're not gonna get in trouble by a group of grown men for being you no more.
Right.
And you still feel guilty, like a little guilty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It still takes a while to let that go.
It
Yep.
does. It does. I
Yeah.
think one of the biggest things that I was whenever I was a witness was a people pleaser. Like everything that I did, it wasn't necessarily always because I wanted to do it. It was because this is the way that my Bible study teacher and like these role models that I have in the Kingdom Hall are pushing me, you know? So for me, I've always loved to travel. So I'm like, okay, well, how can I travel and make this spiritual? Well, I could just go and be like a traveling pioneer or whatever. What did they call it?
Serving with a need.
Traveling overseer.
Serving where the need is greater.
Oh,
So
I'm
that
sorry.
was like
Wow.
my huge goal. Like I'm gonna go do that, you know? And even whenever I went to be a nurse, I was like, okay, I'm gonna become a traveling nurse because that's always stuff that I wanted to do. And I remember my Bible study teacher, which I was really close to her. She's like, you really need to think about doing that because, you know, how about your time for Jehovah and all this stuff? And it's like you never get to find who it is that you are. And some of the things that I read lately is that like a frequency that is even higher than love is authenticity. So you're never.
Oh, wait, that's a bar.
Yeah, but that's what they say, you know? And so that's even greater than love. A lot of people are never even able to reach that level of authenticity because they're so afraid of the judgment. But the truth is, authenticity is going to come at a cost. And the cost is not everybody is going to agree with you and not everybody's going to like you.
Right.
But at least
That's
you
true.
can like yourself whenever you're looking in the mirror and you know that you're not making any kind of decisions based on other people's opinions. Because where did other people's opinions come from? Other people. Like it's just a whole cycle of that, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, so
Yeah, I what I want to teach people is that therapy is amazing, and I didn't even know that you can talk to your therapist about your religion. So it's kind of like your therapist is like that little secret ex-witness that you can share everything with and not feel judged for it. And at the same time, when you're talking to your therapist, you get like their reaction, like, "Are you serious?" type of reaction. And then all of a sudden it validates your feelings.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't look or sound crazy.
Yeah.
And that's awesome because like I never knew that. And I'm pretty sure those who are witnesses don't know that either. Like they don't know that they can express themselves that way to a therapist. You can literally tell them anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're not even allowed to seek a therapist because Jehovah's the therapist. So but yeah, I recommend that a lot because I went through a lot. I said that in my last video that you have landmines that you don't know are there that eventually you'll trigger. And had you not sought a therapist, when you go through those landmines, they're pretty I don't know if I could say igniting. I don't even know if that's a word, but they're pretty dangerous and it drives you to do crazy stuff. Like people take their lives. They go into a dark corner forever. You know, I mean, I went to the hospital. I still have scars from when I tried to take my own life. So I will always remember that. But I
Yeah.
kind of see it now where it's like they're just battle scars now, just moments where I went through it and overcame it. And they can, I was telling somebody this, like the governing body could keep gnawing at our bones like we're zombies. But we're not zombies anymore. We're freaking we're grown people now. We're human now.
Yeah.
We're learning to pull through it and become better versions of ourselves. And that's what makes it all better. Because if you're in an organization, you're stuck for life, bro. And you are not a better version of you don't even know who you are
No.
when you leave. That's how toxic it is. Like sorry, it's like really loud. I don't know if you guys hear that, but yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
have to say.
I think that it is profoundly damaging to grow up in this world where you are constantly seeking approval, validation from someone that just doesn't give a fuck about you.
Right.
They don't. And you live this life where the organization sees you. They even call you by like a number. Young ones. All the ones. They even it drives me crazy. You're just a cog in their larger machine, and yet you're told that that is the only way that you can find meaning. The only way you can find happiness. The only way that you'll have friends. The only way that you'll have security is by seeking the bloody validation of this machine that just doesn't care.
Yeah.
You are there to do free labor for them.
Yep.
To be part of
free
their
labor.
construction company. And that is so damaging because when people come out of that, and that is the behavior that they are so familiar with. Wally said a bad word. I can say whatever damn bad word I want.
It's pretty relieving too when you do it.
They were joking. You have to be articulate to be able to swear. If you're not articulate, then don't swear because then you just sound like an idiot. Use it as a tool. Anyway, when people come out of the organization, and I talk to a lot of people that, obviously do, as you guys do as well, that are struggling so much with carrying on this people-pleasing mentality where they find themselves in other toxic relationships, other people that are just looking to take advantage of them because that's all that they know. Yeah, Artsy Kim, waiting on Jehovah. They're always just waiting on Jehovah, waiting on the organization. And it drives me up a wall because I just want people to step outside of that for a second and realize you can do stuff. You have power. You have control. It's something that you can do. And once you learn that, oh my Lord, I feel like your mental health just takes off.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, what sort of advice do you think that ex-JWs need to hear but aren't hearing?
You want the editor uncut version.
Oh, you can just go uncut. It's fine. I mean,
all right. When it comes to the elders, the family or friends who follow these rules that we once followed, because it's nothing personal. We take this person like, man, y'all gonna cut me off, but they are just doing. These are not normal people at the top of this organization. These are professionals. They have a million tricks to control. Most of us don't know how to control a million people. We don't even know what to do to make something like that work. This is passed down through whoever they are connected to control people.
Specific tactics.
Yeah, specific tactics to where, okay, your most important thing is your family, and I strip that away from you. Now I can control you.
Yeah.
We don't think like that. They think that way. So when our family and friends shun us, it hurts, but they are just doing what they are controlled by these powerful people to do, and on their own time, and hopefully they'll wake up. Just like with us, maybe it was a point in time if somebody told us this stuff. Hey man, you better go on with that. You sound like an apostate.
There was a point
that was us at one point. And then our time came to when we did wake up, and we just learned to look at people that way. But when it comes to the elders and those who want to speak out, but they're afraid of the elders or feeling like they want to leave but have to give them an explanation, man, fuck them. That's and I would say if I was to run into any elders, because back then it was if an elder say, hey, is it okay if we speak with you after the meeting? You got that feeling because it was the power. But once you realize you just a regular dude that work at Walmart outside of here, where you are an employee with no say so, but you get off work, throw on a suit, and you get to boss people around for this 2 hours. Man, fuck you. What? You literally they're bro, you don't get to tell me nothing. Yeah. You don't get to ask me what I was doing Saturday at the movies. Yeah. None of your damn business. I'm a grown man. And once you realize you are an individual just like me, who has an imaginary title. You can go to some dude on the corner and call him an elder. And he what's that? Oh, that means you get to put on a suit and tell people what to do. For real? Right. It's all imaginary. And that's the same with these people. Somebody gave them a fake title, and we just go along and pretend with it Oh, you want to know my business? Okay, well, I guess I'll tell you my business, and you can ask me. Like, no, you don't have to listen to these people. You don't owe them no explanation. If you have to, be Pimo, you don't have to explain yourself to these people, and you can tell them, "Oh no, I wasn't at no movies with no girl." What you not gonna get? Who you gonna get in trouble with? Nah,
That's
you ain't
the
seen-
best thing too, because you just look at them like, no, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
It's just a staring contest at that point.
In the car with the girl, like, what girl?
Exactly. That'll show them just how much power they have too. They'll just be like, yeah, turn into a little kid.
What you talking about? By?
They get these temper tantrums, yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to listen to these people.
I feel like one of my best advice is definitely just try to become the best version of you. Like, don't be afraid to look up any information that you're curious about.
Yep.
You now finally have the hats off to be able to look at anything that you're curious about. And really, it's going to make you a more well-rounded human because you're going to see things from different perspectives. And not only is it going to be validating, but it's also going to be able to have you look like hindsight and be like, okay, I understand why some people follow that, So we did a huge dive into like history and just learning just different types of things that help make us into better humans. And then it's almost like the guilt and the shame gets stripped away. Guilt and shame happen with more than just Jehovah's Witnesses. It's people in general whenever you're not living out who it is that you truly are. But if you're making a conscious decision with every decision that you make in life, if somebody tries to tell you something about it, it's like, okay, well, I don't have to explain myself to you. It's working out fine for me, like this is what I wanted to do. Or even if it didn't work out fine, this was a learning lesson. And so what? Get over it.
I just thought of this too when you said that. You can look at something and not believe it. Like they always convince you in the organization, don't look at this because something gonna take over you. Don't watch that. But you can look at as much information as you want to. This is what critical thinking is, and having an open mind.
Yeah.
I can just read something like that's interesting, but I don't have to.
You don't have to pick a side.
I don't have to pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to make a decision right there on the spot. Like, okay, you look at one thing that's apostate, and then like you could just be like, oh, let me think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It's totally a normal behavior. Actually, it's what most people do. They think about things. Crazy concept.
And that's the trick to waking up.
See,
Like,
Joel.
I'm gonna just look at it. I'm out. Like,
Exactly.
When you think about it, like, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Lexi, when you say people need to work on, would you say, MJ?
Oh, no, I was just going to tell you my advice. But
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. I was just curious about diving a little bit deeper. When you say becoming the best version of yourself, the more authentic version of yourself, what would you say is like the big important first step for people to take
I think
in order
it's
to
always,
find that?
you need to figure out who it is that you want to be. What kind of characteristics do you want to have? What kind of money do you want to be making? What kind of things are going to give you the internal validation from yourself to say, okay, I have decisions that I get to make now, and that might be, and don't let anybody shame you for how much money you want, what type of things that you want in this life, like what kind of house you want, what kind of car you want, what kind of person that you want to be. All of those things are okay. And then every day you just take steps to become that person. So if you want to be the type of person who has the biggest amount of integrity, always make sure that you are doing what it is that you say you're going to do, and like if you want to help people and do things like that, you can still do that. Volunteer here, volunteer there, like just becoming the best version of yourself. We weren't taught about finances. So I think taking a deep dive into finances and learning what it is that it's all about, I think that gives you a different kind of confidence, especially as a man. I think that it gives you a different level of confidence. Like, yeah, I have something to bring to this world. I have a value to bring in any room that I'm in. And it lets you walk with a different type of leadership. And I think also learning about, if you're a man, learning about women, if you're a woman, learning about men, and how it is that we can complement each other to the best of our abilities. Or if you're a man wanting to be with a man, a woman whatever the case may be, but like learning about people, psychology,
Mhm.
because it's going to be a mirror and a reflection to yourself, really.
Yeah, you got to be honest with self first.
Yeah.
You can't be honest with nobody else if you're not true to who you are.
Yeah.
You'll always feel empty on the inside.
You'll never feel fulfilled.
No.
And one of the barriers that I think people face and they never really realize, or at least talking to people, I don't think they realize it, is that if you don't trust yourself, it is incredibly hard to be honest with yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because like that feedback loop of that inner dialogue that you experience just throughout your day. If you're just so used to never trusting your gut feeling, never trusting your intuition, or being actively told that you shouldn't trust yourself. No.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to
Yep.
trust yourself because that's down the path of the devil. It's really difficult to actually have an honest self-reflection about yourself if you don't actually trust what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a very important insight, is learn how to trust that gut feeling. When you do that, you can learn how to be honest with yourself. And once you are honest with yourself, progress really starts to happen a lot faster
Absolutely.
than being told what to do.
And dig into the ugly parts of yourself too, because we all have it. And don't let yourself be shamed for it, because if you know that you have a tendency to be a certain type of way, then you can make the active and conscious decision, if you don't want to be that way, to not be that way. But it's like, while you're a Jehovah's Witness, all these things are put on you, like all this shame is put on you for being a certain. If you're an introvert, like you're kind of shamed because you're like, you need to go and, associate more. But no, that's just what you're inclined to do. So if you want to be an extrovert, you can be. But if you don't want to be, you don't have to be. You
That's
know?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We call it the brick a day. And that can be for physical
Compounding.
things or the mental things.
Mhm.
Don't you think of a goal and it be so big that you just throw it off. Like, for instance, I want to be, a happier person. That's very vague. How
Like,
how
what do you
so?
mean?
Like, what do you mean?
Right.
And
What
make it
does happy look like?
Yeah, use what's around you and use what's the simple things and make that the first step. You
Yeah.
can't skip over the first one and get to the final destination.
Right.
I always use the example of somebody that's like, I want to lose 200 pounds. That's how. I want to lose 5 pounds. That's realistic. What do I have to do? I can just go for a walk. All right, well, do that. Don't think about being a bodybuilder, because that's going to throw your whole mind off. Man, I need to bodybuild. No, start small.
Yeah.
And once
Slow.
you get to that goal, all right, now you go to the next one. And what happens if you lay one brick every day? That sounds so simple. But think 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Now you got a wall this big versus if somebody said, hey, build me a wall. You're like, dang, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So look at everything as just a small step from here.
Yep.
That's it. Like people pleasing. You have to be comfortable within and be honest. All right, I please people, but how do I feel when I do that?
Do you feel drained or do you
Yeah.
feel fulfilled? You know?
Yeah.
Like, and everybody's so different. There's so many nuances within all of us because of the way that we grew up, the traumas that we have, the familial traumas. We have religion trauma, like all of us XJWs, but then that's not including the family trauma that we may have, grief, like all of these things. And sometimes even whenever you are feeling low, just sit in it sometimes. Sometimes that's all you can do is sit in the dark times, and remember that life is full of ebbs and flows. So with a low comes a high, and with a strain back, there comes a catapult.
Yeah, it's called the whatchamacallit? The pendulum. The pendulum. So life constantly goes like this.
Mhm.
But we don't really pay attention to it. So we get caught in the pendulum. We're like, I'm happy. I'm sad.
Yeah.
But once you realize life goes that way, you realize what part of the pendulum you on. All right, I'm at a down moment, but I've been here before with something, and I remember getting to another point of it.
Yeah.
And it's just part of life, and it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayhem. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I wanted to just piggyback on what Lexi was saying, and I actually have to go, so I'll just finish with this. But I feel that the minute that you start to feel anything, any type of doubt, if you let go of it, there's something that you introduce, and it's called cognitive dissonance, where you feel like there's some type of doubt, but you put it away until eventually it resurfaces again, and then you have no choice but to acknowledge it. instead of waiting for that to happen, I believe it's better to just attack it right away and then ask those questions, even if it means going home and in a quiet little room and Googling up your religion and finding out what this really means. You should be able to do that. Just
Right.
because men are telling you to stay away from the media and to stay away from information, that alone should tell you that they're keeping something from you. Because if it's a religion called the truth,
Mm-hmm.
then truth shouldn't be afraid of scrutiny. It should be able to withstand and defend itself. So if it's
Yeah.
telling you not to do something, then it's because it's hiding something from you. So that's something that you should attack early. And even from a Jehovah's Witness standpoint, you believe that any type of doubt is coming from the devil. But if you really think about it, you're taught that only Jehovah can read hearts, can read minds. So if you're doubting something, it's not coming from the devil. It could be coming
Yeah.
from the Holy Spirit. So if you take that into consideration, then you do your research and you look up all the information. And there's something that I used to always say in my older videos that if you Google Jehovah's Witnesses right now, the population, there are 8.8 million witnesses currently. And whether that's true or not, because every day that changes, people are leaving left and right, which is another sign that you should really look into your religion because people are leaving all the time. Um, Out of those 8.8 million people that exist as a witness, you are literally the only person that you know who's doubting and wants to leave. That alone should tell you that you are special because that makes you smarter than they are.
Mm-hmm.
For you to see something that 8.8 people haven't seen or even want to acknowledge, that's something you should pat yourself on the back for. So my advice is to always look into that, always dig into those doubts and not let them eat you up and basically control you. And once you're out, yes, it could be hard to navigate life because you're basically coming out of a dark bunker into straight into sunlight, and it's hard to navigate and hard to see what's ahead of you. My guess is to, I mean, my advice is to, that's why we talked about therapy, to like basically unlock your mind and become a better version of yourself with help. We've been in the organization all our lives, being navigated, being taught how to live. Well, then fine. If that's something you're used to, then let someone outside do that for you until you are strong enough to stand on 2 feet and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like especially with dating. I mean, even dating. I mean, face it, Jehovah's Witnesses don't have game, so you might as well just start practicing your dating and just get to know people, even friendships. Like start meeting new people, meet new friends. Like I said with the therapist earlier, you tell somebody who's not a witness your thoughts and what you believe in. And all of a sudden, all what they think is validating your feelings, and that makes you feel all that better.
Mm-hmm.
But that, yeah, those are my advices. I
I think
mean,
that's important though, like learning that doubt isn't this satanic evil thing.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
always
right,
taught
exactly.
the is it really so? Garden of Eden, blah blah blah. Like that's one of the first things that people actually
Uh-huh.
get into their head. And then you
Right.
realize that life perpetuates itself on doubt. Because
Yeah.
doubts
Yeah.
mean you're asking questions, and when you ask questions, you have to find the answer to them. And that is
Yep.
how the human
Yep.
species went from rubbing rocks together to iPhones.
Yeah.
Doubt. Hey, do you think we could do this a little bit better, Bob? Nah, why are you doubting? This is the best way to do it, obviously. It's like, no, you idiot.
Let's try this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Death to you, walk the plank. You are questioning our narrative.
Basically.
That's true.
Well, we are approaching an hour and a half, and it is
Nice.
getting late. So, MJ, would you like to... Here, I'm going to make you full size.
Finish with prayer.
No. Tell people what you have going on. Sorry, I have to do some organization. If I put you here, I think I put you...
I remember I gave a
top.
prayer one
Okay.
time that was literally 5 seconds. I was like, "Thank you, Jehovah, for this night, and your Son Jesus Christ's name, Amen." And I just,
You know,
like,
I gave
walked
the
off.
closing prayer to the last meeting I ever went to when I was a witness.
What?
It was kind of funny. I can't even remember what I said. It was super troll, though. Like, super troll. Just to try and make people think. Didn't stay for a second because there was like on the stage, you could immediately, there was a door like immediately off of the side of the stage. And I just like
Yeah.
went there and my wife was like already ready to go. And we just like got in the car and left. And people were like,
That-
what did he say?
hilarious.
It was super troll. Anyway,
What did he
MJ,
say?
do you
What's up?
want to tell people what you have going on, where they can find you,
Yeah.
anything that you want to plug, all of that good stuff before you take off and you're in full screen now?
So what I have going on, I have a mustache that I shaved off by accident, so I apologize that I look like a nerd. Or I don't know, you know what? This is YouTube. I don't want to be offensive, but
Don't do that.
I am currently living right now in a basement, so I plan to do interviews and lives on my channel, but I don't like my setup, and I know you guys don't think it's a big deal, but I do. I'm picky, but you can still check me out on YouTube. I'm XJWMJ:Xflix. I tend to be more like Jake from Worldly, a little funny, while more on the serious side, which is why I also have Xflix. So if you like documentary with a little side jokes, then you can watch my channel. But yeah, I guess Wally will post the link at some
Yeah.
point or in the description maybe.
I will.
But
It'll
yeah,
be there.
I appreciate you guys watching this live and checking me out. If you didn't know me, now you know me. I'm Red Hat Guy. You can follow me on YouTube. My channel is called Red Hat Guy. But I appreciate you guys. Yeah. I'm pretty chill dude and get to know me. Love you.
All right. Thank you very much. And have a good
Yeah.
evening. When you start doing
Yeah.
lives again, we'll have to increase our network of collaboration. That's the goal.
yeah.
That's the idea. So I know I
Yeah.
didn't stream
And
for like 2
Lexi.
years.
Lexi, Javon, Jevin,
Yo,
Javon,
Jevin.
Jevin. My
I've
bad.
seen
I have a
about
friend named
100 Kevins in the chat, and I laugh every time. I just think of that SpongeBob. Hi, Kevin.
Hello,
Anyway.
Kevin.
I had a friend named Javon, so it's Jovan, but I know yours is Jevin, so it's like it throws me off a bit.
My aunt is Javon.
Oh, well, okay,
Yeah.
then
Javon.
you have so your whole family ends in Von. Like, is that a
Ben
thing?
Vaughn.
Just
It's
to her.
It's a very Dutch German thing, actually. Anyway,
That's
thank
cool,
you,
but I
MJ.
appreciate you guys.
And we will catch you later.
Yeah, man, it was fun. Thank you
All
guys.
right, MJ,
Bye-bye.
have a good one.
Bye bye.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
Great.
Kevin
There you go.
and Lexi, I'm going to put you in full screen mode. And then you guys can tell people where they can find you, what you guys got going on, anything that you want to plug.
All right, let's see. If y'all not familiar with our YouTube, it's Awaken Truths, and our TikTok is Awaken Truths LLC, and Awaken Truths IG is our Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, Awaken Truths on YouTube is where you can pretty much find us.
Yeah, that's where we probably post the most. And if you
Yeah,
do
every
want to
week.
do some healing, we do have a journal. Like it's more of a introspective type of journal, and it's called Rebuilding After a Cult: A Journey to Healing, and that's linked in our description box. So
Yeah, real simple too. It's not like a 500-page thing.
no,
Like no more, less than 200 is 100 and something pages.
yep, and it's
Yeah.
interactive, so
Yeah.
it makes you kind of go through that subconscious mind, things like that.
Yep. So that's what we'll leave you with. And one thing I meant to add is the guilt that you feel on the way out. We promise you, once you get to the other side, you start to feel you get upset with yourself for feeling guilty.
Yeah.
Like, man, I can't believe I felt bad for doing this.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, you have to look in the mirror and be happy with yourself.
Mhm.
And if you are pleasing everybody else, at the end of the day, you like, man, I played myself for
right.
everybody else. So that's just something we always try to leave with people.
Definitely. And thank you very much, Wally, for having us on. This was kind of dope. We want you to be on our channel. We think that would be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we should do it. I am in the spirit of collaboration, and I think that it's healthy for the community because everyone has a different perspective. Everyone has had a different
Definitely.
journey, and everyone wears a slightly different pair of glasses. And I think when we kind of combine all of those together, you know, we can see the world a little bit more clear. So yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
a good
cool.
idea.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you later.
I appreciate it, Wally.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Chat, my fine friends of YouTube, how are we doing? This is the moment that we know as After Hours JW Talks. This is where we're not quite sure what's going to happen, but I did make some improvements to the mini cam after hours. Oh yes, this is JW Talks After Hours. There is going to be more improvements. I didn't have time to work on anything this week, but I did upgrade some of my things here. So let me see if I can get this going. Where is this? Hold please. Okay, so this, I've improved the mini camera where I'm looking at you guys. I made a few improvements to it. Unite for Peace, what's up? Hello, hello. Jada's World, what's up? How's it going? I'm actually going to be looking at chat fully locked in now. QC Man, thank you for the $2. Appreciate you. Anyway, so as you can see, I've made some improvements to the mini cam. So we're gonna have that, but it's not fully ready to go quite yet. But we're pretty close anyway. But I'll have a couple more surprises and things planned ahead when I just have some time to work on it. Ooh. Good live. Thank you. Great live. Really cool guest. I know that was really fun. Front-facing Wally can't hurt you. Exactly. Front-facing Wally will never hurt you. Front-facing Wally will always be here. Who's next on the channel? I don't have anyone planned. I was going to reach out. A lot of people have mentioned Stop the Shunning. I believe just because I saw it so many times in chat, her name is Bethany, something to that effect. So I'll probably shoot her an email, see what she says. And if that doesn't work, then Stacy from the Surviving Podcast. I don't know who Duran is. Who is Duran, Artsy? Born JW, you are really stepping up, Wally. Great show. Thank you. I'm trying to make improvements. I don't even have beta in the title this time, so hopefully we are making a few improvements. Beth is great. Is his channel called Artsy? JT and Lady C. You know, Lady C came on the very first stream I ever had. She was an OG. That would be good. Caleb, I don't think he would want to join me for a live stream, but I'm sure you're joking. I'll join your podcast. Kevin Carter, if you would like to join the podcast, if you would like to join the live show, shoot me an email. Let me know. There was another person that I think replied to a YouTube comment. I can't remember. I know she has a channel. It's like Alyssa or something like that. But anyway, I haven't actually talked about that or anything. Well, let's not go down the rabbit hole and lose the plot, people. So was this the best live stream we've had yet? Maybe Altworldly, that would be cool. Yeah? Hey from Seattle, love seeing Awaken Truths, a big fan of their channel. Yeah, they were really cool. They were really fun. I like them. It was a good time. Amazing live stream. That's the type of energy. How about Surviving Paradise? Yes. Best so far. Okay. I think we're getting a little bit cleaner. I, as a host, am probably getting a little bit more skilled at this. You, as a chat, are getting better at behaving yourselves. Not that you don't behave yourselves. I'm usually the problem, to be completely honest. Like, if things get off the rails or take a weird left turn, it's usually my fault. Still trying to figure out who JW Live is with a band and stuff. What do you mean? I really enjoyed. Reasonable to conclude. I hope we gave any sort of insight that would be useful. I saw your name pop up when Facts on JW were streaming. It sounds like you have an interesting story, so hopefully you get a chance to connect with them and tell your story. That would be super cool. Yeah, that was great. Loved it. Made me smile. Good. That's why we're here. That's what we're trying to do. This live was great and discussion relatable topics. Cool. Interview the guy who always comments, "Who are you to preach to the JWs?" Ooh, big. You should get some mods for the live just in case. You know, that's a good idea. Boom. Boom. You are now a moderator. Thank you. There's a couple around, but yeah, sometimes I can't see everything going on. I look like there was a little bit of chaos happening over there. Maybe some background music to improve. So that is on the short list with the stream. I don't know what app and everything. It's a little bit difficult. Don't thank me, Alora Mermaid. Thank you. Like, why are you thanking me? No, I would appreciate it if you're around and could just, like, if people are being goobers and talking about, let's detail all of these scriptures and this, that, and the third. It gets a little bit annoying. So yeah. Any other channel you suggest that I can listen to? Material that I can share with my Catholic community. With your Catholic community. I think all of the XJW channels are pretty cool, man. I mean, Jerron Benton channel, I think. Goober control. That's funny. Jerron Benton. I'll have to look that up. I'm not familiar, but Jerron Benton. I'll look that up. Yeah, I'll ask him. I'm down for everyone. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I don't know if there's any like specific channels I could recommend about ex-Catholicism or anything like that. But yeah, all of the guests that have come on the live show have some great content. Yeah, we guys really pray for you guys a lot. I imagine so. The witnesses need all the help we can get. So appreciate the prayers. I don't know if it does anything, but you know, boy howdy, can't hurt. Drawn has a great story. Cool. Janet Doe has a good XJW channel. Okay, Janet Doe. Drawn said they reinstated him as a full-blown apostate. That's actually kind of wild. That sounds pretty funny. That sounds like some really troll stuff that I would do. I'm down with it. I recommend copyright-free lo-fi music. Yeah, I just don't know, like, there's some streaming music where it says copyright-free, but it only works on Twitch. It doesn't work on YouTube. So I just have to actually go through and find what would work on YouTube and then not be too repetitive to where it sort of lulls people into this weird place as well. Welcome to the World Podcast. Oh, welcome to the World Podcast. Is that a Agreeable Pixie? Is that another channel? So we got Jerron. We got Welcome to the World Podcast. Surviving Paradise, and Stop the Shunning. I kind of want to have Kim and Mikey on too. We love you guys and we feel bad with those Masons do to you guys. Where's ZZ? He's in the other room. Sometimes he's not good for production, but I know I miss him too. You can purchase non-monetized music. So I upgraded my software that I'm using for the streaming, and I'm pretty sure it comes with some copyright. I mean, I guess I could dig around and look real quick while we're here, but I am kind of hungry, and I don't want to stick around for too long because I am hungry. Vern fixing my faith. Oh, hey, Fax and JW. What's going on? Yeah, we could have Vern on as well, for sure. For sure. Lance, what's up? How's it going? How are you? At Home with that's the one. At Home with Alyssa is great too. She and her husband are recent XJWs. Yeah. Has anyone had Mark O'Donnell on recently? I still haven't talked to him. I know he's going through some stuff. I should reach out. I always forget, and then someone brings it up during a live stream, and then I get busy. Her husband is weird. Well, that's all right. We're just coming out with that kind of energy. It's kind of a crazy thing to say. Do you know him personally? I don't know him, so I will form my own opinion, but you know, I guess you're free to have yours as well. I'm her husband. I see what you did there. I was like, that is some weird energy, man. I was about to tell you to go get help. I was like, okay, what the heck? Oh, okay. So, you're my plug then. Lance is the plug. Well, yeah, let me know when she wants to come on. Or you guys can both come on as well. Like, Unless you don't show your face or something. Is that why you're weird? Or you're like paper bag face man? I'm going through a lot through my mother being a JW. I tell you what. I believe she emailed me. If she didn't, you owe me $5. She did not email me. Wait, maybe it's like in my something else. I don't know. I don't think she emailed me. I don't see one. Yeah, it's jwthoughts.blog@gmail. I did check my spam. Kit Kat and Tim Tam. I don't know who's saying that. Kit Kat or Tim Tam? I need clarification here. Princess there is next to. Well, I don't know what that means. That Steph girl would be good. Steph is a bunch of dots. Okay. Uncut always. Yeah, this is the uncut section. This is after hours. So I invoke the headship arrangement is crazy. I recommend you don't do that. This is Tim Tam, bro. Okay, Tim Tam. I looked him in my spam. Tim Tam. Why don't you check your? That doesn't make any sense. Why don't you check your spam? There's got to be a better comeback than that. Why don't you check your baloney spam? What's spam made of? Baloney, something like that. I don't know. I don't have a good rebuttal. You got me. Okay, Tim Tam, you win this round. Try again next time. I'll get you. There's also apostate Barbie. True. Yeah. Steph woke up. That's her channel name. Okay. Steph woke up. We'll add that to the thing. I'm an apostate Barbie. I think her name is Mickey. Yeah, I've actually met her. In the flesh. Believe it or not, she's cool. New Zealander. But yeah, Lance, you guys can come on. She can come on. Just let me know. Shoot me an email. Do you guys want to be next week? Next Saturday? Is Saturdays good for you? If it is, we could just do the setting up of the next stream right now. Oh my God, your content is so helpful. Well, I try my best, All I can do is be a silly little guy making my silly little videos, and I hope that when it goes out there to the great people of the internet, someone finds it semi-useful. I feel like this is bordering on going to show my other screen. Yep. Well, thank you guys. For sure, would love to. I think next weekend will be tough. Maybe the week after. Okay. Sounds good. Wat Patston Fastio. So do you speak Dutch? Hello, hoe gaat het met jou? Namaste. Charles Russell was so deep into pyramids that he used to come up with. Yes, he sure did. Marcus Vaughn would be good to watch on here. I'll let her coordinate. So you're quick to evoke the headship principle there, and now you want to shirk your responsibilities, huh? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Lance? What kind of name is Lance? That's like an old medieval weapon. Knock people off of horses. Why don't you go knock someone off a horse? No, okay, that's cool. Yeah, just hit me up and let me know, and we'll figure it out. What's for dinner? Don't know yet. Are there any protests coming up? Don't know. So I'm really late. Basically, replay crew. But Old Mag also said the black people would be white in paradise. Yes, I do remember that. Headship revoked. Yeah, you got hit with that Uno reverse card. Bet you weren't expecting that. Oh, goodness gracious. Sig, man, you had some fire comments today that had me giggling, and I was trying not to disrupt what our guests were saying, but sometimes you get my ass, and I get to giggling. I am an excellent chef. I am. Speaking of chef, I am going to get on up out of here. Don't forget to like the video. I appreciate you guys. I was drinking coffee, and it's already 8:30. I think you guys know what that means. There should be a video out tomorrow, another convention one. For anyone that replied something about my rant with the gym clothes, I just want you to know I know something that you don't know, and I had a little trick up my sleeve. So hold tight till tomorrow, and all will be revealed, because the lore about the JW gym clothes situation is a lot deeper than you actually thought that it was. So, yes, that's going to be there. So anyway, with all of that, thank you to everyone. Thank you for anyone that donated a couple dollars. I appreciate you. And have a good night. We will work on the music. We'll get Lance and Alyssa, not next week, but the week next. Hopefully this one will get someone. I'll have to figure it out from there. But yeah, much love. You guys stay safe and be kind. Get some good sleep. And I will see you guys